Yo. Hold up, chat. Hold up. All right, okay. We're perfect, we're fine. All right, so obviously, you know, anybody that's wondering, welcome to the live stream right now. Welcome to the live stream right now. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can hear me. Testing, 1, 2, testing. I'm just trying to make sure that y'all can hear me. So if I'm like a little bit iffy, bro. Testing, 1, 2, testing. All right, so obviously, you know, anybody that's wondering, welcome to the live stream right now. Welcome to the live stream right now. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can hear me. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Testing, 1, 2, testing. I'm going through this right now. Okay, I think we're good. So if I'm like a little bit. Okay, yeah, we're 100% good. All right, so let's go ahead and tell. All right, so obviously you guys already know that we're talking about Marvel Spider-Man 2 and everything about Marvel Spider-Man 2. I feel like it's about to be like a really good game, though. I'm not gonna lie. There's been like a lot going on and stuff like that. And on top of that, to mention, I will be live streaming again today. We will be playing Marvel Spider-Man to get ready in preparation for the remaster coming to PC. So make sure you guys look out for that. We're gonna be playing that on PC. But we're gonna be talking about the advanced suit. I did notice that Peter's advanced suit was a little bit upgraded and stuff like that. And that's actually the first thing we're gonna talk about is Comic Blast Keenan and stuff like that. And after we're probably gonna get into, I know for a fact that we are gonna get into, you know, potential villains, stuff like that. We're gonna be watching Kabuse. We're gonna be talking about, you know, returning villains and what they could do, as well as we're gonna be talking about like an important villain that I feel like never gets to shine. I'm pretty sure that he only got to shine in Marvel Spider-Man 1. It was Doc Ock. Now, I feel like that has potential for a DLC in which we get the Superior Spider-Man suit. I feel like that has a lot of potential because think about it. He's in Rikers. He knows that Peter's Spider-Man and stuff like that. So he's gonna be, you know, a little bit up there and stuff like that. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at. Ooh, hold up. We gotta take a look at advanced DLCs first. Shout out to my boy Comic Blast Keenan.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Let's go ahead and check this out.
Another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. If you're new to the channel, I pretty much only talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2 here. I cover leaks, rumors, theories, wishlist videos, and more for Spider-Man 2. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. With that out of the way, let's swing on into today's video. So today I wanted to get into DLC for Marvel Spider-Man 2. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Keenan, the game hasn't even come out yet.
It's just a theory DLC.
Talking about DLC. Well, yeah,
right.
I'm a fanboy, and these are the things that I enjoy.
I feel like there's like a potential DLC that could involve Doc Ock. I'm not even gonna lie. A potential DLC involving Doc Ock could lead us into him having. I remember it because he became Superior Spider-Man from swapping minds with Peter with that. What the fuck is the name of that robot is? He swapped brains with Peter. I don't know if it was the neural inhibitor or the neural transfer. I think it was the. No, wait, neural inhibitor was Doc Ock's. Wait. Yeah, neural inhibitor was Doc Ock's thing on the back where he was actually controlling his arms, I'm pretty sure. But for DLC, I'm thinking neurotransmitter to have him to basically have, you know, Ock and Peter Parker's body. And basically, if Ock is dying, it would make sense for him to want to have Peter's body and for him to become the superior Spider-Man.
I always find that DLC presents a unique opportunity to explore a story completely different than the main campaign of the video game. And it often gives the spotlight to a story or a character that may not be worthy of an entire game dedicated to it, but it's still worth exploring in a smaller scale. It allows you to really get a fresh experience or story that couldn't fit into the main narrative of the game. Spider-Man PS4 did a pretty decent job with its first DLC. It was amazing. It fleshed out the character of Yuri pretty well, and will eventually be...
That story was amazing. I would love to see a DLC where Yuri comes back. I would love to see that, 100%.
Used to set up the Wraith storyline for her character.
Yeah.
While the City That Never Sleeps DLC was pretty fun, I feel like Marvel Spider-Man 2 can really step it up with its DLC and give us something even better. So, here's my idea for a DLC I feel is a must-have for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Out of all the DLC options and dozens of characters to choose from, I would love to see a Morbius the Living Vampire.
Yes! Yes, yes, yes! It would make sense because the story is dark. I like where this is going. Keaton, you're a genius. I like where this is going because the story is already going to be dark. I like where this is going.
DLC.
The story's already dark.
Get Jared Leto to do the voiceover and motion capture. Okay, I'm definitely not saying this part. But Morbius is certainly a character that isn't big enough for an entire story dedicated to him.
Right.
Sony. But he is perfect for a smaller scale DLC story.
I'm sorry, but we know that we know that Sony fumbled the bag hard on that. They fumbled the bag on that.
And
we know that they fumbled the bag on that.
I believe that Morbius was actually set up in the first game for a potential DLC, or at the very least, some sort of side mission.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of the hardcore Spider-Man fans know this already, but for those who don't, Morgan Michaels is the alias...
Morgan Michaels, Morbius? He's in the game, like he's in the main campaign, so it probably teased. For those who don't know, he was in the main campaign whenever he was helping Spider-Man try to get Devil's Breath, or when Spider-Man's getting information for Devil's Breath. And obviously, you know...
Name of Michael Morbius. Morgan Michaels made his appearance in Spider-Man PS4. He is one of the scientists who helped develop Devil's Breath.
Right.
According to the files found in Norman Osborn's apartment, Michaels has been the Osborn family doctor for decades, and
that's what's interesting.
Prescribing experimental treatments for Emily Osborn in 1997. So let's theorize now. Perhaps Morgan Michaels...
Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, this is gonna sound surprised. I never actually knew that Harry had a mom until I played this game. I know that's gonna sound really, really, really harsh, but I did not know that Harry had a mom. I knew that, you know, Norman and everything, but like, think about it, Chad. We never got introduced to his mom. We never introduced to Harry Osborn's mom at all. We just heard about her. And on top of that, by the way, if you guys haven't, I'm self-promoting this. Well, I'm majorly promoting this right now. But Spectacular Spider-Man, if you guys haven't already, make sure it's out on Netflix right now. Go ahead and check it out, rewatch it. It is still good. It is so godly.
Or Morbius somehow infected himself with something that turns him into this vampire. After all of the experimental treatments he has worked on, it's likely that he could have been exposed to something that made him transform into this new creature. For this DLC, I would love to see a completely different tone than the one that we get in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Like I said before, this is a chance to do something completely different on a smaller scale. I would love to see a detective noir-styled story set completely during the nighttime. Imagine Spider-Man getting word of a mysterious creature sucking the blood of...
Ooh, that would be nice. Because the story is already dark when you have Venom coming out, and after that you have, for the DLC, you have Morbius. Oh. That's gonna be insane. Hey, make sure you guys like the live stream. Let's just go ahead and like the live stream, man. We are over here talking about Marvel Spider-Man 2, and we upload bangers over here. As a matter of fact, we will be streaming later on today. We will be streaming some Marvel Spider-Man 2 in preparation for the remaster that's coming out in August. So if you guys haven't, just go ahead and check out the live stream down below. That is going to be an insane DLC, though. Ooh, the bars.
City. perhaps some of these victims or all of the victims are criminals. And Spider-Man has to go around to all of these locations to put clues together and figure out who is behind these mysterious encounters.
Oh, you know what suit that could be really? Oh, we could get a suit. We could get fucking the fucking Blood Spider suit from Ultimate Spider-Man as well. That would be good. That would be a good one. The only reason why I say that suit is because of the fact that Blood Spider is pretty much in like another universe where most of his friends and most everybody is turned into vampires. That would be an amazing way to give us that suit in that DLC. Hands down, that would be amazing.
Morgan Michaels probably also has a bit of a vendetta against Norman Osborn after the events of Spider-Man PS4, and I feel like there's something that could be explored there. But the thing about Morbius is that he isn't your traditional Spider-Man, more of an anti-hero, or he's just some dude trying to find a cure for his condition. There have even been instances in the comics where Spider-Man and Morbius have teamed up together. He doesn't really want to harm people. His mission in life as a doctor is to help people, yeah. Them of illness. So with Spider-Man already having a history with Morgan Michaels in the first game, it'd be really cool to see a small story where Spider-Man tries to help out Morbius and stop him from losing all control. An alternate storyline that I think would be really cool is one from the comics where Morbius is obsessed with Spider-Man because he thinks that his blood could be the cure for his condition. So maybe there could be a story where Morbius is on the hunt for Spider-Man and his blood because he thinks it's the only thing that can cure him. We already
so similar to Harry Osborn
experimenting with spiders in the first game because one of the spiders in his penthouse was responsible for Miles turning an additional Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So maybe Morgan Michaels has some sort of inside knowledge on what.
Oh, that could be a perfect segue into it. Oh my gosh, there's so many DLCs. Keenan, you're giving me so many ideas, bro. What if there was a DLC? And Keenan, if you're watching this, Comic Blast Keenan, if you're watching this, Spider Soldier DLC with the Jackal, aka Raymond Kenny. A Jackal DLC could work because it sets up the whole entire Spider Soldier DLC, and you have Jackal being the main, and you have Jackal like being the main antagonist or whatever. You have Jackal being like the main bad guy, right? And basically, massive spoilers if you guys have not seen or read the Spider Soldier comic. But basically, what happens in that comic is obviously Jackal has known about Spider-Man's powers for like a long time, and he starts to realize that he's like, okay, so Spider-Man appeared. So he's been watching Spider-Man for years and stuff like that, but he never came out, and we had no idea about him. So what if him and Miles and Peter have a conversation, right? And he starts talking to Spider-Man, right? He starts talking to, you know, Peter Spider-Man, right? He's like, so I thought that it was, so he's gonna be like, so, oh wait, there's two Spider-Men? Obviously, you know, this first one was obviously there, but Peter would think that he's literally like the first Spider Soldier because he got bitten by it, right? Think about it, because Raymond was working for Oscorp. Say like you set that up, he's working for Oscorp, and, you know, hands down, sorry, I need some water. Okay, anyways. Okay, back to Spider Soldier. Okay. So what happens is like he's gonna be thinking, he's gonna be like, oh shit, one Spider-Man. Okay, I can deal with that. And after that you have Miles meeting Jackal. So you have both of them meeting Jackal, right? and you have Peter in his head, you have Spider-Man in his head realizing Peter's Spider-Man. You have him realizing that this first one, Jackal says this first one or something along sorts of, Jackal's gonna think that this first Spider-Man, aka Peter Spider-Man, was an anomaly, right? And after that, he sees Miles as Spider-Man. He has, you know, powers and stuff like that. Basically, all the stuff that he can do with, basically all the stuff that Peter can do with all of, like, you know, his powers and stuff like that. He's gonna think, he's gonna be like, huh, a second one showed up. So then after that, all of my suspicions and everything were confirmed, right? He would think that all of his stuff that he's thinking was confirmed. And he would be thinking that, you know, Peter is the first Spider Soldier and Miles is like the second Spider Soldier. That would be an amazing way to introduce the Jackal, because he would be thinking, oh, he's a Spider Soldier. This would be perfect DLC.
And it's the reason that he thinks that Spider-Man's blood could save him. This is just an idea to throw out there. But regardless on if we get a Morbius DLC or not, I just want to say that I would personally love to see this game get at least 3 DLC stories.
Yeah, like in City Never Sleeps.
Especially if there's going to be another 5-year gap in between the second game
and the third.
I'm going to need something to hold me over until the next game comes out. And a new DLC every year or so with a different story would just be amazing. I know it's a lot to ask for, but I'm going to dream. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Let me know what you think about my ideas in the comments down below. What kind of DLC would you like to see from Marvel Spider-Man 2? While you're here, let's go ahead and try to get this video to 200 likes. The likes on the videos and the comments really keep me motivated to keep making videos, so they are very much appreciated. But that's going to be it for me, guys, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Yo, let me know what you guys think about that, because like the thing is, like with the DLCs for this game, I'm pretty sure obviously have Spider Soldier. I'm hoping that they have Spider Soldier. I'm hoping they have Spider Soldier, because I really do want to see that story, you know, implemented. I would love to see that story implemented so much. That's one of my favorite like storylines. That's just one of my favorite storylines. I love that storyline so much. That storyline is so hard. If you guys have not read it or seen it, it is so hard. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and go into the Advanced Suit.
Hey, what's up guys, CBK here to bring you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. And if you're new to the channel, I pretty much only talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2 here. I cover leaks, theories, rumors, and wishlist videos for Spider-Man 2. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. With that out of the way, let's swing on into today's video. So I wanted to talk about something that I have not talked about on the channel before. You guys probably are aware that I have already done some wishlist videos for suits that I want to see in the game moving forward. But one thing I have not talked about yet on the channel is the suit that we do know that we're getting in Marvel Spider-Man.
It's Peter's new advance.
New and improved Advanced Suit 2.0, as everyone is calling it. And if you guys know anything about me, you would know that the Advanced Suit for Marvel Spider-Man is probably my favorite Spider-Man suit of all time.
I like it a lot.
Comics, TV shows, or video games, the Advanced Suit is simply my favorite. I love it so much that I bought a nearly $300 Hot Toys figure of the suit. It's my prized possession. So the next suit has a lot of expectations to live up to for me. So I thought it'd be pretty fun to have a complete breakdown of the new Advanced Suit and tell you my thoughts and what are some changes that would be coming to the suit as opposed to the first one we got. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into
the first thing is
so the most obvious change for the new Advanced Suit has to be the colors of it.
Yeah.
It is a deep red.
It looks like more like a, yeah, because you can tell right here, it's more like a deep blue. It's more like a dark blue, and you can see that the symbol is a lot more in close to the chest. Another thing that you guys can probably tell is obviously the back of it. Obviously, you saw in the trailer, you know, with the tentacles popping out. By the way, we're gonna get into that in a second, because there is a YouTuber that there is one YouTuber, I don't know why, I just do not like this guy.
More vibrant. And to that, I say props to Insomniac for listening to our complaints
about
the Advanced Suit and Marvel Spider-Man. Most of you guys know that the first Advanced Suit had a bit of a more orange tone,
yeah,
especially when you went out into the daylight.
The thing is, like with this one, like I can see it too, because like look. Right here, you can tell it's obviously more dark red and stuff. The only thing you can get this is, obviously, I think it also happened with his first suit. It was a little bit more orange, but in the cutscenes, it was a little bit more like, I can't pull up my PS4 right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I can't pull up my PlayStation right now, but like, you guys know what I'm talking about. Only like, I believe like 2 or 3 skin. I think only like 2 or 3 suits in there actually match up with Marvel Spider-Man 2 suit, and do we have like the thing is like that's literally like the thing that Insomniac had to follow. Because the thing is, think about it. This one is a little bit more different. Because notice, like right here, he doesn't have like. Notice, like right here. Compare these two. It's a really huge difference, though. Notice how right here he doesn't have, you know, this right here. Notice how he doesn't have like the spider webs like right here hanging on his leg or his thighs or whatever. Notice how this isn't there, and notice how the belt looks so different. Notice how he has like the lines and stuff going through it, but it all matches up and stuff like that. And notice how the spider web, and notice how the spider like goes deep like down. And it's basically still the same suit, but they just re-rendered and stuff like that. I like this suit way more than this one.
Especially when you went out into the daylight. The funny thing about it is that in all of the marketing material for Spider-Man PS4, the suit looked perfectly
The suit looked red.
But for
exactly.
whatever reason, it did not translate into the game. It always had that orange tone, which kind of showed that it was more of a technical issue and less of an intentional design of the suit. And I'm honestly surprised that that issue wasn't resolved for Spider-Man Remastered. But that's
the only thing is for the fact that in cutscenes this suit was actually, you know, red. The suit was actually like a more vibrant red and blue. And those cutscenes for PlayStation 4, they were literally more like red and blue in cutscenes. But for the new advanced suit, they made it a little bit more better, because I can understand what he's saying, because in the daylight, it does look like it's orange and blue. That is one thing that Insomniac did fix, and I like the suit a lot more.
In the past now, and it looks like it will be fixed for Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
At least we think so. We have yet to see the suit in any daylight, so we'll see.
I'm hoping that we see it in daylight in the trailer.
Images used for this video are done by some incredible artists, and their work will be linked in the description below if you do want to check it out. We also have to bring up the spider logo on the front. The new logo.
Ooh, the logo looks clean.
Suit as opposed to it bleeding over to the blue side.
Right.
I have to say that at first I really wasn't feeling this, but it has grown on me over the past year. I think I might actually like the logo's placement a little bit more than the original. Spider-Man also has these new white gauntlet looking things on.
I was about to say that too.
And to me it just looks like some sort of additional padding and protection to the forearms. And it does look pretty cool, but I don't see that addition to the forearms being anything that changes.
Oh no. Oh, I just thought of something. I just thought of this too. Okay, so black suit plus the fact that it has protective gauntlets. Plus his personality is going to change. What are the odds that he is going to be overpowered with the symbiote and we're going to have to kill him? Oh my gosh, imagine the fights on the... Because, like, obviously, you know, we are going to play it, but... Well, obviously, we are going to play it on the channel and stuff. But here's my question. What is going to happen when we're playing as Peter in the black suit? Because remember, this is a Peter story. So we're playing this mostly as Peter. Fighting this man, Peter, on ultimate difficulty as Miles is about to be so hard. It's going to be crazy. We're going to have so much good stuff on here. Combat
in Spider-Man 2. We also have to talk about the belt. The belt look is now gone, and instead we have a much
instead you have like a much sharper
design to the belt / abdomen area, which I'm all for. I love the sleek look of this design. I'm a big fan of the change here, but now we have to get into a few of my nitpicks regarding the suit. And one of the major things that stand out to me is the fact that they removed all of the red that were on the legs in the original advanced suit. And that's a bit of a bummer for me. I personally am a big fan of the red section on the side of the legs, and I was pretty disappointed to see that removed. This was the only thing I would change regarding the suit. Everything else is absolutely perfect, but this is just me nitpicking. I still do love the look of this suit so far. But 100%. If I had my way, I would have just enhanced the colors of the original suit to be more vibrant and less orange, and then I would have put the white spider logo within the red like they did for this one. Those were pretty much the only changes I would have made to the original suit. But that's okay. I'm sure when we get a better look at this suit and I actually get to play it within game, it's going to grow on me and probably end up being one of my favorite suits. But the only thing is with the advanced suit, with this new advanced suit, aka advanced suit 2.0, necessarily really have anything to do with the design or look of the suit. is the new Iron Spider arms.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I never have really been a big fan of the Iron Spider legs or the Iron Spider suit. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't feel like it fits with this suit. I might be in the minority on that, but that's just my opinion. I'm hoping these iron legs aren't a huge part of the gameplay, but if it is, it's likely I won't use them very often. But that's just my overall thoughts.
They 100% have to bring back, obviously they already know before the fact that I want to transfer all my suits over for this game. So my question is, are all our abilities going to be transferred over that we got in the first game? Because a lot of my suit mods, you guys already know that, like, I'm a huge Spider Bro fan. You guys obviously know I'm a huge Spider Bro fan and everything like that. So when it comes to that, I am so sorry, but I can't use that through the remainder of the playthrough, because I know there's gonna be new suits. I want to use, you know, all the new suits, like, you know, obviously I want to use the arms and stuff like that, because I feel like the arms are probably going to be like already automatically on the suit, because in the first game, because the Marvel Spider-Man PS4 and Spider-Man PS4, you had to go into equip it because you got that suit, you got advanced suit 1.0 from Doc Ock at the beginning of the section, or at the beginning of the suit section. What if there's a way, because you had to, because like the thing is, like, you literally had to go through and pick out your abilities and stuff that you want to work. It was focus, and that way you could change it. It was battle focus, and that you can change it to any ability you want. Now with this, I feel like, you know, I actually, and a lot of people actually probably can agree with me on this, you guys had to actually go and actually get that suit mod to put on. You had to go back and get that suit mod to put it on. Now, what if you get this suit, because obviously this suit's probably going to be automatic. Probably not automatic, but it'll probably be like, you know, you'll probably end up playing as Advanced Suit 1.0 for like the first like half of the game, or probably like for like the first, like at the start of the game, and you'll be able to swap to Advanced Suit 2.0, which already automatically have, you know, your ability on there and stuff like that, so that way you would have to just swap them out. Besides, a lot of people, in my opinion, I think that they're gonna probably bring back a lot of the suit mods from Spider-Man PS4 over to Marvel Spider-Man 2, because I feel like that would be like, you know, that's all our abilities that, you know, that we worked for, and there's no point, you know, we're gonna transfer them over
on the new suit, and I would love to know what your thoughts are in the comments. I know I'm nearly a year late on this, but I did just recently start my YouTube channel, so I'm just rushing to get all of my opinions out there before the game comes out. Before I head out, let's try to get this video to 200 likes. The likes and comments you guys leave just keep me going and really motivate me to keep making more content. So thank you guys so much for being so supportive on all of my videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Alright, so that was DLCs. Keenan is a genius, bro. Let's go back and let's check it out. One feature, when gameplay for Marvel Spider-Man 2 should be out. We have to check this out because I didn't get a chance to see this.
Bring you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. If you're new to the channel, I pretty much only talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2 here. I cover leaks, rumors, theories, and wishlist videos for
Bro, me and Keenan are gonna have to do a live stream together. Keenan, let me know.
With that out of the way.
Yo, Keenan, let me know if you want to do a live stream together with me. Let me know if you want to do a live stream with me. Because you know, I like your ideas a lot, and you know, I have like a lot of ideas too. I have like a lot of ideas for what they could do for, like, you know, certain things and like certain mechanics and stuff like that. And we can also talk about how tough the difficulty is going to be. I feel like, you know, the ultimate difficulty, Comic Blast Keenan, everybody, if you're watching this right after something, like, everybody tweet this or send this to Comic Blast Keenan. I feel like we, like, just type in, just ask stream with Phoenix. He's right to your videos and stuff like that. Bro, it's gonna be insane. Bro, I like what he's doing. I like Keenan. I like what you're doing with the Spider-Man videos. Keep it going. I like them, bro. And also, we can talk about boss fights and stuff like that. You know, I have, you know, boss fights I could go like either way.
Wait, let's swing on into today's video. So if you're anything at all like me, you're likely dying for any bit of Marvel Spider-Man 2 news or details.
Yeah.
Or perhaps you're just wondering when the heck we're gonna get some official gameplay footage. Or even
now for gameplay,
I'm personally starving for some gameplay.
The thing is, for gameplay, I feel like it is going to, in Keenan, I know. But I feel like gameplay is probably going to drop on the anniversary. I feel like it's gonna have to drop on the anniversary because obviously Marvel Spider-Man 1 came out on September 9th, or September 8th, I may be wrong. No, wait, September 8th. It came out on September 8th. So what are the odds that they drop gameplay and the story trailer on those 2 days? So if my theory is correct, they're gonna have to release it during State of Play, or they're gonna have to release the story trailer a day before, or it's probably gonna get leaked. Which I don't think it's gonna get leaked, because there's already been like a lot of leaked information, because there was a tweet out, well, there was an IG story from Najee, who is, if those who don't know who Najee is, he is the actor for Miles Morales. He flat out said that, you know, it was done. If that post on his Instagram story was over a while ago, that means that the trailer is already done. They have, you know, the gameplay, and, you know, they have the trailer, you know, just Insomniac has it in there. They're just cooking it and waiting for State of Play, or they're gonna release it on the anniversary of the first game. I feel like they're gonna release it on the game's 5th anniversary, because it's turning 5 years old this year. So it's going to, it would make sense that they would drop it on that day. Come on.
Play for Marvel Spider-Man 2. There have been theories out there on when we could see some gameplay for Spider-Man 2, and so far a lot of those games.
But then again, we could see that State of Play.
And we have gotten nothing for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Heck, we haven't even got anything for God of War Ragnarok, and that game comes out later this year supposedly. Some people have even speculated,
by the time that I'm watching this, by the way, the trailer's already out,
that Sony could be holding a much larger Sony showcase in September.
Yeah.
They could show off some God of War Ragnarok and potentially some Marvel Spider-Man 2. And if this happens, then it would remain in line with what Sony has done in the past when it comes to game reveals. Last year, Sony's showcase took place during the second week of September, and we can all recall that they dropped the first trailer for Marvel Spider-Man 2 along with the teaser for Wolverine on that date. And if you look at Sony's history, they showed off some gameplay for Spider-Man PS4 about a year before its release.
right?
So perhaps some gameplay could be coming in September this year. That's just if we look at the past trends with Insomniac and Sony. And all of this,
They always tend to reveal, you know, their games in September.
Some sort of trailer or gameplay for Marvel Spider-Man 2 in September. But I would like to make my suggestion for when I believe the perfect time to release some gameplay or another trailer would be. For me,
Harry has to be in the trailer.
Revealed on August 12th. You might be thinking, Keenan, why August 12th? It's a pretty random.
Remastered.
Well, Insomniac recently announced that Marvel Spider-Man Remastered would be coming to PC on August 12th of this year, which is amazing. A whole new group of gamers will get to experience this Spider-Man universe for the first time. So I think an amazing strategy would be to release a new trailer for Spider-Man 2
when the remaster's coming out.
Marvel Spider-Man Remastered on PC. Once you drop the trailer, everyone will be talking about Spider-Man 2. It will be trending everywhere. Gamers will see how amazing it looks and want to buy Spider-Man Remastered, so that way they can join in on the hype for Marvel Spider-Man 2. That way they could be part of this overall experience, as everyone's going to be talking about it.
Right.
I personally think it would make the hype for the game explode. Along with that, it would be so cool to see Insomniac drop an additional suit or two just to get people to hop back into the game and to celebrate the release of Spider-Man Remastered
100%.
on PC. I mean, when you think about it, there's a large group of people who are PC players who have not experienced the first Spider-Man game at all, or Spider-Man Miles Morales.
So it's gonna be their first time, basically.
What they do is just grow the fan base for Insomniac Spider-Man. And I think releasing a trailer for Spider-Man 2 will just get people hyped for the game.
Ooh, that's a perfect idea too. Along with the remastered, and people will get to meet Harry Osborn.
Want to go ahead and purchase that Spider-Man Remastered as they can prepare for Spider-Man 2. It would just be a glorious day if this were to happen. I mean, hype would honestly be unmatched, and it might even help boost those first day sales of Spider-Man Remastered on PC. But I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about this strategy. I'd certainly love to know what your predictions are on when we could get something revealed for Spider-Man 2. So let me know in the comments. Also, let's try to get this video up to 100.
The thing is, like, I'm predicting, like, that's a really good prediction, by the way. That's a really good prediction. Like I said, like with my prediction, I feel like it's gonna be released at around the anniversary. So we might get some story trailer. We might see Harry Osborn, you know, for the first time coming out of the Venom symbiote for the first time. We might see Kraven the Hunter. We might end up seeing Calypso as well. I'm not sure. We might not end up seeing Calypso because I'm not sure it's confirmed that Calypso is even in Insomniac's universe, but we might end up getting like a lot of stuff. So that means that we might end up getting Calypso. Kraven's girlfriend, by the way. and we might probably end up getting. What I'm guessing, and this is my theory by the way, with the gameplay, I'm pretty sure they're gonna reveal at the state of play. So we might end up getting a story trailer on the anniversary, and we might end up getting the gameplay trailer during state of play. So we might actually get to see, a random boss fight or whatever. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into potential villains from my boy Caboose. We're gonna go ahead and see.
The world to me and just incredible.
Yo, everybody go check out Comic Blast Keenan.
That's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Yo, everybody go check out Comic Blast Keenan. Okay, so now for this one, we're actually gonna go ahead and go to my boy Caboose. Head to my boy Caboose. Oh, so he's the one. Okay, I had no idea. Okay, I was playing Arkham Knight probably like, I think when I first started, I wanted to look up how on earth this ending is explained. Third playable character doing my potential villains. I did see a video about potential villains. I know I'm not tripping. Okay, maybe I am. So this is what you get whenever you type S. Oh, okay, yeah, it's this guy. Video game leaks. I don't know why, but this is fucking click. I can say so many things. I know it's clickbait, but I want to watch it because I don't understand. I really don't understand. Let's just watch this.
One of the greatest superhero games of all time. There's no debate. Insomniac Games blew us away. I mean, an open world Spider-Man adventure. It told a unique story. It perfectly adapted the character's universe from the comics straight to the game world. Plus, Insomniac catered to Spidey fans everybody. We had a plethora of costumes that spanned the entire history of the franchise and the character. They then followed up in 2020 with Spider-Man Miles Morales, a standalone sequel that may not have had the same impact in the story department, but it featured a ton of additional gameplay possibilities, even if the framework, well, it was copy-pasted from the first game. Welcome to Video Game Leaks, everybody. Today, I have some huge news. News in regards to Spider-Man 2 being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yep.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm just gonna let it roll. I already saw News to Astonish's reaction to this. I'm just gonna let it roll.
Now, Spider-Man 2 was announced last year with a trailer that confirmed a lot of things. We have the Iron Spider suit, fan favorite character.
Iron Spider suit. I thought that too, and after that I started looking at it and I was like, wait a minute, this is the advanced suit. It looks like the advanced suit. And I didn't think that it was at first. I'm like thinking Iron Spider, and after that I'm like, no. Iron Spider is, red and gold.
Venom's gonna make a major appearance, likely as a main villain, I would think. And over the months, there have been a lot of leaks regarding the next Spider-Man game, as it's still rather unclear when exactly the game will launch. And in the era of constant delays and cancellations,
it's 2023.
People are worried.
Even though I'm pretty sure that he probably doesn't know this.
But fear not. Fear not, guys. We have you covered. That's what we cover here on Video Game Leaks. All gaming leaks and rumors. Make sure you're subscribed.
Gaming leaks and rumors.
Make sure you do the little magic wizardry stuff with the notifications so you get all notifications. You guys are doing great with that. And we've got some interesting news to shed some light on what to expect from the upcoming Spider-Man game and possibly make everything surrounding the game even more hype. That's right. We're a hype channel at times, and this is a hype video. Now, the first Spider-Man game featured a brand new universe. It's never been seen before. It offered up new versions of characters we all know and love. Who's your favorite villain in the Spider-Man universe? What's your favorite Spider-Man suit? I mean, it pulled a lot of influence.
Hold on. Let me hear this again.
All notifications. You guys are doing great with that. And we've got some interesting news to shed some light on what to expect from the upcoming Spider-Man game and possibly make everything surrounding the game even more hype. That's right, we're a hype channel at times, and this is a hype video. Now, the first Spider-Man game featured a brand new universe. It's never been seen before.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, yes, but not. Wait, hold up. Wait, damn. Maybe my Spider-Man knowledge isn't as good as I thought it was, but it's still good.
Offered up new versions of characters we all know and love.
Offered up new versions of characters that we all know and love. This Peter Parker is 23, 24. He's been Spider-Man for a while, buddy. He's been Spider-Man for a while. In this game, he is 23, 24. He's literally those two. It's probably 23, I think. I think I said in the review, it was probably 24. But new universe with iterations of characters that we all know and love. In this universe, he's been Spider-Man ever since he was 15. So they had to bump it up.
Who's your favorite villain in the Spider-Man universe? What's your favorite Spider-Man suit? I mean, it pulled a lot of influence from various movie and comic interpretations of the character, but Insomniac Spider-Man, it was its own universe. Officially referred to as Earth 1048. That's right.
You mean Earth 1048? I understand. I understand where he's coming from because I didn't know it. I didn't know it either whenever I was growing up and stuff. I didn't know what Earth. I basically, long story short, I do like alternate realities and the Spider-Verse is a thing, but like, come on.
Now this is likely also going to be the
it's Earth 1048.
Wolverine game will take place in, but that's a video for another day, which we will be doing. The game is also heavily influenced by Sony as their own Insomniac games, as well as the movie rights to Spider-Man. Now, this
movie rights to Spider-Man. They have gaming rights to Spider-Man. They have the game rights.
Where there have been countless controversies surrounding Spidey appearing in the MCU. Now, why movies like Venom and Morbius, praise be to Morbius' name, take place.
He was never, okay, this version of Spider-Man was never in the MCU.
Place in their own little bubble, okay? That bubble has gotten particularly murky over the last few years. The end of Venom Let There Be Carnage, spoiler alert, showed that...
Oh, I'm so glad for an ad. I am so glad for this ad. I am so glad for this ad. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've never actually wanted to watch an ad so bad.
Food videos, or people like Sarah.
I am glad for this ad. I am glad for this ad. Thank you, YouTube. You gave me an ad. Here, now let's stop.
Only people in my city see my ads, and so can you. I found my customers on YouTube. Get started with YouTube advertising and find yours too.
First of all, that's the only issue is like you have to go off of like, what you know. Basically, this game was not set.
Does exist in the Sony universe, and at the end of Spider.
No, it depends. This. Oh my gosh! Hold up. Let me rewind that real quick. First of all, this is a Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Let There Be Carnage, spoiler alert, showed that Tom Holland Spider-Man does exist in the Sony universe.
No, he doesn't. Sony has a universe without a Spider-Man. Well, we know there is a Spider-Man, but I have a feeling that it is Andrew Spider-Man. But Tom Holland Spider-Man does not exist in the Sony universe. Venom got teleported into the MCU to leave a part of the symbiote in the MCU so they can do another Venom after they got teleported back to the Sony universe, which has no Spider-Man.
And at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, spoiler alert, it brought Venom into the MCU for the first and so far only time. Now Morbius, it muddied the waters up even more. We had an appearance of Adrian Toomes from the MCU as well as brief reference.
Now that, I can understand that because Strange's spell at the end of No Way Home, that shit worked backwards. I can understand that because it worked backwards for Vulture instead of working forwards for him. That worked backwards. So everybody in the MCU universe with that Doctor Strange spell, that worked forward. But seeing as that Vulture was legit the only person, was the first person to know that Peter Parker, well, that Tom Holland's Spider-Man was Peter Parker, that spell worked backwards for him, so he got teleported into the Sony universe. That is a different, that I can understand.
Since the Amazing Spider-Man's version of Oscorp, needless to say, Sony's been making things a little confusing. So why do I bring all this up? This is not a Chaos Multiverse video, it's a video game leaks video. Why are we talking about movies in a video about games? Well, I have a theory, my friends. It was revealed very recently that Insomniac Games have hired Davidson Carvalho as their new art director for Spider-Man 2, replacing the original game's duo Grant Hollis and Gavin Goulden. It's reported.
I'm excited to see some. I already know for a fact it's gonna be fire. If they have a Marvel, if they have a MCU artist working for this, I already know for a fact it's gonna be fire.
Hollis and Goulden have moved on to work on Wolverine, and Insomniac has handed art directing duties for the upcoming Spider-Man sequel to Carvalho. Why is this big news? Because Davidson was the concept artist for Avengers Endgame and Thor Love and Thunder. He has the experience working on giant superhero projects. Endgame is about as big as you're going to get, at least right now, and he knows how to bring tons of characters together for emotional showdown. So let me give you a theory here and see if you're on board with me.
By the way, it's crazy, chat. I would still love to play this game, even if it was like this. Like with the HUD just like this. I would still want to play it.
I think Sony is going to try Spider-Man 2 in the MCU. Now,
he's gonna try Sony's gonna try Spider-Man 2 in the MCU. It's in the MGU, the Marvel Gaming Universe, I potentially think what we're calling it. By the way, shout out to Joseph Woody for putting that out there. But I feel like that's not going to end up happening. They're gonna put Spider-Man 2 in the MCU. What kind of... I'm just gonna continue to watch. I just can't. What kind of freaking... We're just gonna play it because I don't know what to say.
Let me explain. The two main villains from Spider-Man 2 are believed to be Venom and Kraven the Hunter. As you know,
obviously,
Venom has already had 2 financially successful movies in the Sonyverse, and Kraven the Hunter is going to get his own release next year. You'll also remember that Sony has recently been making some pretty obvious pushes to get their Sonyverse associated with the much more popular and marketable MCU. Now, aside from Into the Spider-Verse, Sony's non-MCU movies haven't been very good. Venom movies, they're fun to watch. Morbius movie got some good memes out in the world, but they're not critical smashes.
That Morbin time meme.
Sony knows that. They know they're probably not going to reach the same heights as the MCU without tying themselves into it, and that is where you can start to increase your MCU references. Sony movies. Venom 2, it broke the internet with the reveal of Tom Holland's Spider-Man existing in the franchise. The reveal of
I mean, like I said, Tom doesn't exist in the Sony universe. Doctor Strange's spell teleported him there. Like I said, you just said that Marvel Spider-Man 2 exists in the MCU and that it gave us intro to the new universe. It is Earth 1048 for this exactly main universe. I can't anymore, bro. I'm just gonna continue to watch. I can't.
Did a similar thing. Sony knows they can make a ton of money and get a ton of free pub by loosely tying their movies to the MCU and teasing a crossover. But what if they were doing that with their games? Sony's Spider-Man game takes place in its own universe, but Spider-Man 2 is starring 2 of Sony's big screen characters. Like I said, Venom already has 2 movies under his belt. 3rd one on the way.
This is not the Venom from the actual Sony universe. This is Harry Osborn. This is Harry Osborn's version of Venom. So I don't understand how you would think that it's Eddie. I can understand why you think it's Eddie Brock, because I thought it was Eddie Brock at first, because like Venom scene and stuff like that, and I think. Well, actually no, it was kind of blatantly obvious though, because we never met Harry throughout the first game. We never actually got a chance to talk to Harry in the first game, like at all. And after that, we go to Norman's penthouse for that MJ mission, and we realize that Harry is in the incubator with the freaking symbiote all over him.
Kraven the Hunter about to make his cinema debut.
And Kraven is also, I'm pretty sure that this version of Kraven that he's talking about is Quicksilver Kraven, right, from the Avengers. If I forgot his name, I was calling Quicksilver Kraven. But the actor that's playing Kraven the Hunter is actually Quicksilver, and not the Quicksilver that you're thinking of. I'm talking about like Age of Ultron Quicksilver. This doesn't make any sense. Like, I can understand what he's saying. It's just hard to understand. I understand what he's saying, but it's just, you're putting major characters from movies that have a different type of actor. Eddie Brock is not going to be in here. Tom Hardy's not going to be in here. Eddie Brock potentially exists in the Insomniac universe. Harry is not Eddie Brock. The symbiote is already on him because they took the Ultimate Comics route.
It's pretty obvious that Sony has heavy creative input on games that they fund, so what if they're intentionally using Sony's big screen characters in the new game because they have bigger plans? I have a theory that Spider-Man 2 is actually going to find a way to tie itself into the MCU's multiverse, and Sony will then use it as another footstep to the MCU's level of popularity. Now, with the recent hiring of someone who worked on Avengers Endgame, it's clear Insomniac has some big ambitions for Spider-Man 2, and it's going to be a huge game. Then when you factor in that Kraven the Hunter and Venom are looking like the two main villains, then you factor in that Sony is footing the bill for the game, then you factor in the fact that Kraven and Venom are parts of the Sony movieverse, and then you factor in that Sony's movieverse is officially tied to the MCU, you start to see the map I'm drawing here. All it takes is a...
Yeah, that map is weird.
Simple reference to one of the movies in the script or hidden around the open world, and Sony would then be able to say the game is part of the MCU.
And it's not a part of the MCU.
You can imagine all the extra pub and day one sales that Spider-Man 2 will get if it's rumored to be part of the MCU. Sony doesn't even have to confirm or deny that the game is part of it.
It's not! It's its own universe!
We might be doing their job for them with this video, but you can imagine if that's where we're about to go. Are we really going to have a multiverse that spans across movies, TV shows, and video games? I hope so. Does this set the stage for more MCU video?
Well, then again, the Insomniac spider suit was in Into the Spider-Verse, and it was in the Spider Cave, but you have no idea, chat. I want to click this video so bad. It's just horrible.
Properties in the future, maybe even MCU games from Insomniac in the future. I think we are now officially in the world of wild speculation, but you can't tell me it's not impossible. Nobody would have thought Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire would ever don the Spider-Man suits again. Yet
Exactly.
there they were. Nobody ever thought Charles Xavier would come back. Yet there he was in his big floaty yellow wheelchair.
Exactly.
Maybe his recent hiring of the ex-MCU worker means nothing. Maybe it's a total coincidence. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. But you can't deny that it would be absolutely awesome to have Spider-Man 2 in the MCU.
No.
Having an official MCU connection in the world of video games would be...
It would not make sense having, you know, I can understand, but it doesn't make any sense for Marvel Spider-Man 2 to take place and have references in the MCU. You can have like references here and there, yeah, but it wouldn't make any sense. Because it's like I said, this is literally a fresh take on Spider-Man as a whole. This is literally a fresh take. So why would it make sense for this game to take place in the MCU? You can have references here and there, yeah, don't get me wrong. But does it make sense for Marvel Spider-Man 2 to take place in the MCU? Like, why? It wouldn't make any sense because the MCU is its own universe. Also, on top of that, Tom Holland's Spider-Man was already in the MCU. Doctor Strange's spell puts Venom, aka Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock, into the MCU just to have that little piece of symbiote, that clearly means that they're working on another Venom, and he got sent back to the Sony universe, which the current Spider-Man there is Andrew Garfield. Which I still believe that's Andrew Garfield. But why would you want to think that Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Marvel Spider-Man PS4 are connected? Why would you think that they're all connected? Why would you want to make this game connected is my question.
An amazing possibility for the future. It would open up so many doors for superhero games in the future, and as complicated as this timeline might get, I'm 100%
it depends. The timeline isn't that complicated.
down for it. Let me know what you guys think. This could be the beginning of other things. Think about the evolution and the constant evolution of Fortnite and all the crossovers they do with Star Wars and Marvel and you name it.
Those are skins. No offense to people that play Fortnite.
What if these video games started tying to the actual MCU?
I can understand what he's saying, but no, they do not need to cross paths. I admit, Tom Holland's Spider-Man potentially has the ability to have Mr. Negative as the main villain, or to, meet Miles Morales, or, Felicia Hardy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has potential to meet them. But it doesn't make any sense on why you would have to... Give me 1 second. Okay, let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and just get back to it. Let's go ahead and just get back to it, because this doesn't make sense.
What if they were part of the bigger picture and you got to play through that? It would make you feel like you're interacting with the story arc of the MCU as it fleshes out.
No.
That's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think.
It is, but it's just like...
More news. It's only a theory right now, but if we come back in a year or two and it was right, woo, we're on a roll, my friends. I'll see you soon.
This is not gonna be right. This is not gonna be right. I feel like it's not gonna be right. That's no. Let's see. Hold up. Let's see the comments. There's no reasoning that the exactly. The only reason why the game was such a success is because it was its own unique taste. It wasn't based on a movie. Although seeing Insomniac's Spider-Man and Multiverse as a little Easter egg would be, it would. Let's be honest, it would. But it wouldn't make any sense to do that. It wouldn't make any sense for that to happen. What the heck? State of Play coming next week? What the? Why are so many people trying to put this game in the MCU? There's a reason why this game has its own unique taste. And that's why so many people love it, because it was unique. Why do so many people want to put Insomniac Spider-Man in the MCU? I understand where they're coming from because Tom Holland. But why are you putting certain superhero video games in the MCU? Stop it! This I don't understand. I have nothing. I have nothing against it. I don't understand this. I have nothing against it. Now, anybody that's watched this, I have nothing against, anybody like that. I just don't like the fact that every single comic book creator keeps trying to ruin certain heroes. So many people really want this to be in the MCU when it's not going to be in the MCU, bro. It's disgusting. Gameplay leaks. You think it's going to be at State of Play? I personally think it's going to be at State of Play, hopefully. At least I personally think it's going to be at State of Play. I know for a fact it's going to be at State of Play. Hold up. Let's look at what are potential DLCs for this. There has to be like potential DLCs. Ooh, let's check out Evan's videos. I haven't checked out Evan in like a minute. Marvel just see what's happening. The combat possibilities. We're actually gonna check this out. We gotta check this out. Yo, which one do you want to watch? Dang, Evan hasn't uploaded anything that's Spider-Man in a minute. Oh, so we got Tony Todd.
Did you know that actor Tony Todd, who is going to be playing Venom within Marvel's Spider-Man 2, is actually a veteran when it comes to portraying iconic superhero villains? Before landing the role as the Sinister Symbiote,
he was voiced by Zoom.
He also previously voiced one of the most iconic speedsters within the DC universe, none other than Zoom on the live-action DC show The Flash. Here are some of the best bits of Tony Todd voicing Zoom in action.
Oh, so you can imagine how terrifying this is gonna be.
Good. You have a life, which I'm going to take, unless the Flash gives me what I need. You won't be able to stop me without your speed.
How excited are you for Tony Todd's performance as Venom? Let me know what you
excited,
think,
this
and
is
be
gonna be
sure to leave a
crazy.
like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Spider-Man shorts. Did you know that actor Tony
This is gonna be crazy. Try to see if there's anything else. Did we cover everything? I'm not sure that we covered everything because I knew for a fact that there was. Let's check out News to Astonish. What will the black suit look like? I think it's gonna look like
What will
this.
Spider-Man's black suit look like in Marvel Spider-Man 2? We can all imagine what his suit would look like in a sequel, as we've already seen many incarnations of Spidey's black suit through different types of media over the years.
Yeah.
There's this iconic but simple black suit with the big spider emblem on his chest.
That's
that
the one
wraps
that I
around
like.
his back. Then you have the ones from the animated series and the comics. Knowing Insomniac Games, they're going to take a much different approach, just like they did with their own version of the main game's Spidey costume. It's easy to say that they'll just take the advanced suit and keep the white parts white and the rest of the red and blue parts black. However, I think it's going to be more complicated than that. There's also plenty of black Marvel Spider-Man 2 suit concept art online, like the ones you're seeing here, that you should definitely check out. They're just amazing. You go ahead and post your best thoughts and theories about what the black suit will look like in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Give me your best description, the best description of your ideal black suit for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Can't wait to read your comments. Like, comment,
That's gonna
and
be
subscribe
insane.
for more shorts like this.
Marvel Spider-Man 2 is gonna be insane. 10 costumes I want to see. Let's go to DLCs. Because the thing is, DLC has to tie into, like, you know, something. Because the thing is you gotta think. With the ending of the City Never Sleeps DLC, it ended with Miles Morales. It ended with Miles coming into, you know, ended up, you know, with Miles in the main game. So if it ends up with Miles in the main game, they have to make it so that there's, like, you know, say like a new one every single, like, time. So one feature Marvel Spider-Man 2 desperately needs. Marvel Spider-Man 2 PS5 desperately needs. We gotta check this one out too. We gotta check this one out. I didn't even check this out. I didn't only check this out like
But
once.
doesn't mean that I don't think that. So if that sounds like, what's up guys, CBK here to bring you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. If you're new to the channel, I pretty much only talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2 here. I cover leaks, rumors, theories, and wishlist videos for Spider-Man 2. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. With that being said, let's go ahead and swing on into today's video. Alright, so most of you guys know that I love Marvel Spider-Man. It's my obsession, and I admit I'm a bit of a fanboy. But that doesn't mean that I don't think that things can be improved on going into Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Right.
I can think that Spider-Man PS4 is a masterpiece, but also want some things changed, right? I just feel like I needed to say that before I...
Yo, make sure you guys go ahead and like the stream, like the stream, like the stream. Subscribe if you are new, if you want more Spider-Man content and some more live streams here on the channel.
Giving you wishlist videos for combat, swinging mechanics, physics, gadgets, and more. But there is one feature that I've seen no one talk about, including myself, and that is the difficulty of the gameplay. Specifically, the ultimate difficulty.
Yes!
I've played through Marvel Spider-Man over a dozen times.
Yes!
And once I beat the story...
Yes, yes. The difficulty needs to be increased for ultimate difficulty. That's what we need. That's what we need. I beat the game on ultimate once. I beat the game on ultimate before. We need a higher difficulty. We need a higher difficulty, like, probably, like, because the thing is, it goes amazing, it goes friendly neighborhood, it goes friendly neighborhood, amazing, spectacular, or ultimate. I beat the game on amazing, right? Beat it on spectacular, and I beat it on ultimate. As a matter of fact, we're playing it on ultimate. As a matter of fact, we're replaying it on ultimate for the prep. Anyways, it's down in the description below. But they need to increase the ultimate difficulty, like, Insomniac needs to increase that.
On my first playthrough, I have only ever played the game on the ultimate difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty, and I have to say it is far too easy.
Yes.
This is coming from someone who isn't really even
And the funny thing is about that trophy, only 2% of players have that trophy.
a huge gamer. And listen, I get that some people want a relaxed experience where they can play as Spider-Man without sweating it out. This video is more for the players that want a more challenging experience.
Yes.
So let's get into some ways that Insomniac can make Marvel Spider-Man 2 a
They need to make it a little more challenging, but I wouldn't mind adding, like, and it's gonna sound strange, I would not mind, like, seeing permadeath added. I would not mind it at all. I'm not saying that I'm gonna play it, I'm just saying, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing permadeath added.
little bit more difficult. First things first, I want to bring up something that's already been rumored for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and that is that there would be a realistic web swinging mode. According to this rumor, the game will feature 3 different swinging modes. The realistic version would be the more difficult version, and will feature a more dynamic experience that will be more physics-based. Making the universal experience a little bit more difficult will give the
So that means that if you fall, you would take damage.
players more control over Spider-Man. And if this rumor is true, then I think that it's a good start for making the game a little bit more difficult, especially when it comes to swinging and traversal within combat scenarios. I'm really hoping a feature like this does make it
Right, so if you say, like, you web strike someone.
Let's talk about those boss battles. The boss battles in the first game were fine.
Yeah.
Their saving grace is that you got to face the entire Sinister Six, so you didn't really get burned out by facing the same enemy over and over. However, my biggest complaint was that it was far too easy to defeat these villains, even in the most difficult setting. Have you ever played a game where you reach a certain boss that seemed almost impossible to beat? Like maybe you spent over an hour dying over...
I think in Miles Morales, they made at least like a couple, well, they made a couple of boss fights difficult because in Miles Morales, whenever it came to fighting the Tinkerer, that Tinkerer boss fight, you had to like hella concentrate because like she was like actually like, you know, doing what she was doing. Like that boss fight was rough. But the roughest boss fight in that game was the one with Rhino because you had like a whole lot of, you know, Roxxon soldiers on you. You had like Roxxon, you had Roxxon soldiers on you, you had, you know, a whole bunch of stuff you had to focus on. You know, you couldn't go camouflage if you went camouflage over in a sea regardless. You know, it was legit like a better ultimate experience than the first game.
And over trying to defeat them, and along the way you learn some new strategies and techniques to defeat this boss, and eventually you get it. You defeat them. It is so rewarding when you finally beat that boss that has given you trouble for so long. I want that experience when I play bosses in Marvel Spider-Man 2. The problem with the boss battles in the first game is that you can quickly learn the routine of the enemies and how they attack you. Most of the time you just had to dodge attacks for a while until the enemy got tired, and then you would go in for a few punches.
Especially in the Vulture fight where you had to just constantly just shoot web, where you constantly just had to web shoot him, and there would be a time where he would throw out his freaking wing blades, and you would have to either web him up and beat him up, or you would have to web him up, he's gonna throw one, dodge, grab the one that's already grab one, and after that throw it back at him, web strike him, and then that's it.
Just take a step back and repeat the same process until you got a takedown option. It was pretty much the same thing over and over for all the bosses. It didn't take a long time to figure out how the game wanted you to fight these bosses, and once you figured it out, it was just a matter of repeating the same thing over and over. If we want to get the best experience possible in Marvel Spider-Man 2, then we need more dynamic combat situations when it comes to boss battles. I definitely think the duality of both Miles and Peter in this game will help with that problem and keep things fresh, as you'll likely switch between characters while fighting a boss. But there definitely needs to be...
Oh, ultimate difficulty while fighting Peter's gonna be... Oh my gosh. Ultimate difficulty fighting Peter with the black suit on? Oh gosh. I'm really gonna have to focus up then, because I have to fight it with the black suit on ultimate difficulty, bruh. I have to focus up, because we're talking about a man that's had experience combined with the symbiote.
To be more
I'm gonna have to hard focus him.
Fights and unpredictable moves from the bosses.
Right.
Next up, I want to talk about the normal street crime combat and enemy types. Insomniac definitely had a wide variety of enemy types in the first game. You had your Sable fights, your demons, the thugs, and prisoners, all of that stuff. But they pretty much served the same purpose, just in different outfits. The different types of enemies all had brutes, guys with batons, guys with guns, and dudes with shields. And it didn't really add anything new to the combat. They were just reskins. We need more variety in the enemies and what they can do. And I think Insomniac took a step in the right direction in the City That Never Sleeps DLC, because the difficulty of that DLC was far improved.
Yeah.
With shields and jetpacks knocking
And
you all over
freaking
the place,
LMGs.
behind trails of red electricity, and then you got brutes with the miniguns. It felt like you never got a break from the action, and you always had to be thinking ahead about your next move while fighting these guys. This was certainly a step in the right direction, and I hope Insomniac builds upon that for Marvel Spider-Man 2. But guys, that's going to do it for my thoughts on the difficulty of Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'd love to know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, let's try to get this video to 200 likes. I know it's a tall task, but seeing the likes just encourages me to keep going with the videos. But that's going to be it for me, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.
That's pretty much that's pretty much a good idea. Ultimate difficulty needs to be raised a lot. If the ultimate difficulty is raised, it poses like more of a challenge. Features that Marvel Spider-Man 2 should take from Web of Shadows. You guys want to react to this right now? I feel like we need to react to this. Yeah, we'll react to this one.
CBK here to bring you another Marvel Spider-Man 2 video.
We'll react to this one, and after that, we're gonna go live at around 2:18. So
take from the classic Spider-Man Web of Shadows game to adapt into Spider-Man 2. If you ask any Spidey gamer out there, most of them would say that Web of Shadows sets the standard for combat and web swinging in future Spider-Man games. And I would tend to agree with that. I feel like Web of Shadows was definitely ahead of its time and is among some of the best combat we have seen from a Spider-Man game. Don't get me wrong, I still think that Marvel Spider-Man is an absolute masterpiece of a game, but there is without a doubt some things that can be improved on for the sequel game. There's definitely a lot of inspiration Insomniac games could take from Web of Shadows, specifically to how the black suit could play out within their own game. Being that this is the first time Insomniac will be delving into the symbiote suit storyline, I feel like they should look at Web of Shadows to see what worked well and build upon it, and what they should stay away from in terms of mechanics and features. And of course, I do want to see Insomniac add in their own flair and features for their interpretation of the symbiote Spider-Man. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and swing on into my list of features that I would love to see Insomniac adapt from Spider-Man Web of Shadows. And to start things off, I want to dive on into the web striking system for Web of Shadows. Spider-Man Web of Shadows absolutely nailed the web striking for Spider-Man.
I would love to see that.
Web striking within their combat system, but it wasn't nearly as fast and fluid as Web of Shadows. In Web of Shadows, you could zip from enemy to enemy with intense speed, essentially ping-ponging off of enemies with ease. Spider-Man could zip to enemies and sling them around, or zip right back to them and kick himself off of them. The web striking also made the air combat so much more fun. I don't want to sound like I'm ripping on Spider-Man PS4, but the web strikes in that game
were insane.
Slow for me. I want the speed of combat to be enhanced for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and upgrading the web striking system would be a great start for that. The next thing I would love to see implemented that I thought Web of Shadows did a great job on is the ability to switch between your normal Spider-Man self and the symbiote. It was such a cool feature to have. You could run around as your normal Spider-Man self and seamlessly transition to the symbiote Spider-Man wherever you are, and use all of the symbiote abilities you want at that given time. Given the PS5's ability to effortlessly render things, I think it would be amazing to see the suit switch over in real time from a graphical standpoint. This isn't a feature that will monumentally change
that would be so beautiful
gameplay, but I think it would just be a cool addition to have. The next feature I would love to see from Web of Shadows implemented into Marvel Spider-Man 2 is wall combat. Now, this would mean that there would need to be some sort of wall-crawling enemy types.
Ooh,
and I feel like Venom,
and on top of that, with Venom coming into the game too, and potentially Kraven the Hunter, oh my gosh.
symbiote entities would fit that description perfectly. Imagine fighting Venom on the side of a building for a boss battle, while it's storming outside, and then there's some dark and menacing styled music being played in the background.
Yes.
That would be epic. And I'm not talking about the type of wall combat that we got in the final battle with Doc Ock in the first game. That was more of a cinematic fight, if anything. I want some real combat on buildings. The only thing they would need to do is nail the camera work when performing wall combat. I always thought that Web of Shadows camera work was a little shaky while performing wall combat, but I have no doubt that Insomniac could give us some really good wall combat. Please, Insomniac, make it happen. Next up, we have to talk about the Web of Shadows swinging speed. This game had some insanely fast-paced swinging. If you were skilled enough, it was almost too fast. I don't need crazy speeds, but I do want to adapt how Web of Shadows really explored Spider-Man's momentum within swings. If you timed your swings just right, you could build up some insane speeds that would really propel you forward. Given that the PS5 will be able to render the New York City environment quickly, I don't see any reason why we can't have faster web swinging. Along with swinging, I would love the ability to run down walls, just like in Web of Shadows, and I would also love to see fall damage included, just like in Web of Shadows. The fall damage wouldn't completely take out your health, but it would still affect you a little bit, and I get the argument against this. He is Spider-Man, he should be capable of surviving a fall from up high, and I agree, it shouldn't kill you if you fall from a building, but you should receive some sort of small damage. I mean, if a random thug can give you a punch and knock off some of your health, then a fall from hundreds of feet could also knock down your health, even if it's only a little bit. But that's just my opinion. So lastly, we have a bit of a smaller feature, but I think it would add something to the street crimes. I loved that you could take hurt civilians to a hospital in Web of Shadows. I would love to see this implemented into Marvel Spider-Man 2. Perhaps after fighting a group of thugs who have just tried to complete a mugging, you could take a hurt civilian to the nearest EMS on the streets, or take them to a nearby hospital. I think it would just add something to the street crimes. The street crimes were severely lacking variety in Marvel's Spider-Man, and I feel like swinging the occasional civilian to the nearest hospital would just add something a little bit different. So guys, that's it for my list of features from Web of Shadows. I would love to see Insomniac adapt for Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm sure I left out some of your favorites, so be sure to share your list in the comments section down below. I appreciate you guys so much for the support, and I just love making these videos to help get us hyped for Marvel Spider-Man 2. But that's it for me, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Now, I do want to check out, like, we're going to go ahead and go over the Doc Ock theory that I have. Now, as you guys know, in Marvel Spider-Man towards the end, Doc Ock is locked up, right? So say if he, ends up getting out, or, say like he ends up telling, someone that Peter Parker is Spider-Man or whatever, right? He ends up telling someone that Peter's Spider-Man, right? that could switch the way that, you know, that he's going to think. So you'll probably end up telling someone, right? Or you'll probably keep it a secret. It's like, okay, I know his identity. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a secret. I can use that against him or something like that, right? And that would influence the next DLC, which is gonna be Superior Spider-Man. So my guess is that could influence Superior Spider-Man. Or since they could do the ultimate path, they could go down the ultimate path. What if it's something like this?
You think this place isn't protected by shield tech?
I disabled your shield defenses weeks ago. Since I discovered your identity, I've been keeping an eye on everything you do. You and your delightful Aunt May.
I take it back. Threatening my aunt is now the stupidest thing you've ever done.
I am not here to fight.
Like imagine, bro. Like imagine he comes back, right? Like imagine he comes back and he knows Peter's identity, right? So he's gonna start watching him and start keeping carefully tabs on him, right? What if there's something going on, like behind the scenes while Doc is in Rikers? Like imagine.
Right. I am here to make a deal. A simple one. You will agree to never put on the Spider-Man mask again. In exchange, your Aunt May lives.
How are those wheat cakes, Peter?
Delicious as always.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to watch this for the fact that I love the voice actor.
Every day. Why am I gonna take you seriously now?
My Octobots with cameras are everywhere. I've been keeping watch over your aunt. I have only to say the word, and goodbye.
Why now?
I had to wait until all the cards were on the table, and now they are. I trust you'll make the right decision, Parker.
Wow, you ate those fast. Hope you don't get an upset stomach on stage.
I don't think breakfast will be my problem today. Ox threatened Spider-Man dozens of times, but this is different. This is a threat to Peter Parker, and Peter Parker has vulnerabilities. But this is graduation day. I'm no longer the new kid on the block getting bullied by supervillains. I'm the ultimate Spider-Man, and I'm not backing down from Ock or anyone. Time to take my final exam.
Bro, I also forgot to tell you, imagine if, this is gonna sound crazy, imagine, I don't know which one's the ultimate one, I'm pretty sure it's Andrew, right? And it's gonna be like literally crazy. I know it's like going crazy, but I can talk to you guys about anything, right? But imagine if it was, you know, imagine if Tom Holland, SHIELD still exists in the MCU, by the way, so I'm just gonna put that out there, because I watched Comic Book Cast last night. Yeah, it still is. What if we get introduced to the Triskelion in the MCU?
Are you sure this is all necessary?
What if we get introduced to the Triskelion somewhere down the line, bro? That would be fire if we got introduced to the Triskelion. It was already confirmed that it's going to be Harry's story. I'm just trying to find the freaking one where Doc Ock's just... We need to transfer our suits over. This is the one that this is the one I think I saw this like a while ago. I'm pretty sure that's everything though. I'm pretty sure that's everything we need to cover. But I do still have that theory, like, Doc is in Rikers, right? So what are the odds that he goes and tells someone in Rikers that, you know, that Peter Parker is Spider-Man? He goes in there, he tells everybody that, you know, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. He's like, oh gosh, great. Now I have to, you know, gosh, great. Now I have to actually tell him. He's not gonna tell him anything. He's gonna be like, wait, so you're telling me that, and after that, all of us start putting stuff together, right? Now for the Lizard. Now another theory that I have is for the Lizard boss fight. they did something like this? Because they can't do Ganali device. They can't do Ganali device because Ganali device is way too out of it, but what if the lizard boss fight, say like they took the lizard boss fight, right? From this game, oh shoot, someone else has seen this one. Hold up. What if they hit you with the lizard boss fight, you have to cure him with the serum? Like, imagine how crazy that would be.
YouTube helps me reach engaged customers like Jenna, who's been searching for landscapers on...
This boss fight from TASM 2, I mean from TASM 1, the video game, if you take on the lizard in the sewer or the Bronx Zoo, hold up! This is too saucy! Oh my gosh, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you guys have not seen that episode of Spectacular Spider-Man, if you guys have not seen this,
6'5" lizard. Where'd you get to now?
If you guys didn't see this,
Instead of a 5'6" spider.
but what if the lizard, what if Doc Connors turns into the lizard, right? And he starts going through the subway. He starts going to the subway, right? What are the odds?
Duh. Underground.
See, look, he goes into the subway, right? They could reference this scene so heavy.
Sorry, pal. No eating in the subway.
They could reference this scene as so heavy. And like, as he's fighting, right? Because obviously, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to include, you know, Curt Connors' wife and son, right? They're gonna have to include his wife and his son, right? So during this whole entire time, you know, he's gonna have to grow his arm back. His arm, like right here, is gonna start.
And the reptilian part of your brain.
Like right here.
Cuter.
Like right here, they're gonna have to introduce, like right here, they're gonna have to introduce, you know, obviously throughout Curt Connors, so they're taking this route, right? If they're taking the route that I think they're gonna take, they're gonna have to obviously, you know, introduce the lizard serum. That's obviously gonna end up, you know, giving Curt his arm back.
Your hand. Your right hand. This is huge. Your lizard.
Yeah, the lizard formula.
Slow down, Eddie.
And they're gonna obviously have to introduce Connor's wife and family. They're gonna have to introduce Connor's family, right? Which means they're gonna have to introduce Billy Connors. And they're gonna have to introduce, I forgot his wife's name. All I know is Dr. Connors, that's it.
Bad enough my husband used himself as a guinea.
Yeah, and you can tell right here, what if his wife's in the picture, right? And he and she starts noticing the lizard scale growing on him, right?
Billy?
Like growing like on the back.
Office computer.
Wackos? Wicked!
If you're gonna crank the volume, close the door, please.
Here, the lizard scales, obviously he's turning into a lizard right here, and the lizard part of him is starting to take over. The lizard part starts, we get like a scene or like I said, like, and this could also add up to the part, what if we get, you know, a scene of, you know, Doc Connors changing into the lizard, like once we like, you know, be like a main villain or whatever. What if we get like a scene like this? Or obviously Peter's gonna end up working with him because, you know, he needs something to fill that void of, you know, having Doc Ock in prison, and then after that you have Curt Connors, who potentially knows Dr. Octopus in, you know, the Insomniac universe. What are the odds that Peter goes directly to Dr. Connors because he needs, you know, because, you know, he wants to help him and stuff like that. He sees his vision, aka, and I'm not sure if like they're gonna actually implement this, but probably, you know, Doc Connors being able to do cross-species genetics. Now, what Peter said could work. They create a gene cleanser that knocks out the lizard part of his body, like completely wipes it out. So what are the odds that they're going to make a gene cleanser for, you know, Doc Connors to get that lizard side out? Who's your favorite one of Spider-Man's girlfriends? Who's your favorite spider person, aka one of Spider-Man's girlfriends? Or best Spider-Man female main character? It's a toss-up between Gwen and MJ. I like them both, but most of the time I lean towards Gwen because, well, that relationship is a W. Gwen's just, you know, if Kurt Connors' son, Billy Connors, gets involved, Billy, like he said right there, he's gonna think. Billy said that right there. His son said that right there. What are the odds that Kurt Connors is going to potentially eat his own son? And you know, Spider-Man has to stop him. That's where, you know, that's gonna come in. This, because think about it, if Kraven the Hunter is going to be, you know, one of the main villains of the game, right? He needs a whole bunch of animals to hunt. Like, you know, we could potentially get iguana. You know, we're obviously getting lizard already because it's Kurt Connors and Miles Morales post credit. Like, he starts turning into the lizard right in front of his very eyes, right? Another thing with the fight, another thing, chat, is I have a feeling that Insomniac's possibly gonna end up taking, you know, a potential fight that we've already seen. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this video linked down. I know this is the episode, but, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and link this video down in the description below after this live stream goes up, so.
Sites are littered with issues. Is yours? With Hotjar, you can see what people...
I get that reaction a lot too.
Now, with this fight, he goes to the Bronx Zoo. Right, he goes straight to the Bronx Zoo. Or we could have a fight in the sewer room. I guess we're gonna have a fight with the lizard in the Bronx.
I get that reaction a lot too. I think he's in there.
This suit's 100% getting added, 100%. I feel like the suit's gonna get added.
Other creepy crawlies.
No cap, this suit has to be added.
Good. Stay put.
And after that, we get this terrifying scene of Spidey crawling around in the reptile section of the zoo.
Me without my Spidey trunks.
Like, as we're playing as him, we end up getting this crawling section over at the Bronx Zoo. And we jump, but it turns out that it's not him, and he's actually gonna be behind us. And we get this fight right here. We get this fight with him at the Bronx Zoo. It's gonna be insane. So that's the reason why I have like this thing where, you know, for a lizard boss fight, there's gonna be a potentiality of us having to fight him here.
Heated pool.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And through here we get this fight where, you know, he's going to be in, you know, the ice, right? Because keep in mind, when Doc Connors transforms into the lizard, lizards are cold-blooded. Or wait, are they warm? Hold up. Damn it, phone died. Okay. Okay, but what are the odds that we get this fight? Like, what if we get a fight in the ice?
Did you skateboard here?
Took a cab.
Duh.
Like, we get a fight between them in the ice. Which means that his movements are gonna be a lot more slower. He's gonna start moving a lot more slower as well. He's not gonna be able to keep up.
To a present, Lizzie. Gene cleanser. Guaranteed to remove your toughest stains. Grease, mustard, even
lizard DNA. So we're gonna get this fight, right? if we get a fight like this where Kurt is about to go crazy, he's about to knock him out, and he transforms back. He loses his arm and transforms straight back. What if we get a fight like that? But instead of having MJ take the picture though, it's going to be, but instead of Peter taking the picture though, it's going to be MJ. So what are the odds that that happens?
Everything.
But who could have taken these?
Check the byline. Did you see?
And through this, Peter loses his connection to Kurt Connors. He loses his connection to Connors, right? That could be an amazing way for Kraven to acknowledge the fact that, oh, you have Spider-Man and you also have the Lizard, who is a cross species. That would be an amazing way.
There's no shots of Billy or Dr. Connors or anything to prove that he was the Lizard. And that's supposed to...
I already seen this episode a billion times. I'm chilling. That would be an amazing way to introduce the Lizard to, you know, the game. That could be an amazing way, because you could have him transform in the lab, which would equal a lot more, you know, pipe around the Lizard, and, you know, you would have Dr. Connors on the other side and stuff like that. Oh man, that would be an amazing way just to actually like get the Lizard like some attention. That'd be like an amazing way to get the Lizard's attention. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get myself up out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and website myself up out of here. Let me know your thoughts down below, as well as go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, everything down below. And I will see you guys in the next live stream. Actually, our next live stream is today though. We'll be live streaming at 2:18, so make sure you just go ahead and stay tuned for that. We're obviously, you know, we're getting preparation for the Marvel Spider-Man remaster dropping in August. So we're getting in preparation for that. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, and on top of that, make sure you guys go ahead and leave a like on the live stream. Make sure you have the notifications turned on. Oh, snap. Make sure you guys have those notifications turned on for this live stream as well. This will be going up. We will be live streaming at 2:18 today, so make sure to go ahead and keep up to date with the latest ones. But other than that, let me know your thoughts down below on what you guys think is gonna end up happening. And, you know, I'll see you guys in the next live. Why on earth do I keep going to all my stuff? Hold on. And without that, I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys with another live streaming banger.
you